The second issue of Vader Dark Visions opens with a rebel U-Wing attempting to escape an Imperial armada of Star Destroyers and TIE Fighters, who already successfully decimated the other rebel starfighters. Just barely making the jump to lightspeed, the Imperial officers on board the Star Destroyers began to assess the mission. On its face, it seemed to have been a resounding Imperial victory. They destroyed a key rebel base, reducing their efforts in the quadrant for the foreseeable future. Even more, they did so without losing a single Imperial pilot. In many ways, the victory was perfect. However, one Imperial commander, Commander Tylux, wasn't convinced. The Empire allowed a single rebel spy to escape with the schematics to an important military factory. But Tylux eventually relented. Given the rebels didn't know the location of the factory, and they would pull valued intel from the rebel computers, Tylux was happy to allow the officers to inform High Command of their great success. Only his worst nightmare would then come true, being informed that the Emperor himself was happy to hear of his victory, and Darth Vader was en route to personally retrieve the captured rebel spy. Knowing that they allowed the rebel spy to escape, Commander Tylux then vividly remembered a scene from years earlier, where Vader brutally killed a room full of Imperial officers for their failure. All Tylux could focus on was Vader's final words to him from that day. Failure was unacceptable, and he would have to be better than those who perished. Driven by his fear of Vader, Tylux sprinted into the bridge of the Star Destroyer, ordering the capital ship to break from the main fleet and jump to hyperspace to find the rebel spy. Although he had no idea where the rebel could have gone, the crew followed the order. Eventually, they would come out of hyperspace within an asteroid field. The crew thought it was madness to attempt to enter the field, with even the Star Destroyer not being able to survive such a constant barrage. But Tylux simply noted they wouldn't fly through it, merely attempt to find the spy. And Tylux would do exactly that, finding the rebel making repairs to their U-Wing. After sending a squadron of TIE Fighters after the U-Wing, a chase ensued, and with the rebel vastly outnumbered, he decided to head planetside, despite the fact that the planet was experiencing a deadly sandstorm. Knowing what waited for them on the planet, the TIEs held back. But knowing Vader was on his way, Tylux wanted the rebel at any cost, and ordered every TIE fighter and pilot to be dispatched planetside to capture the spy. The risk was a total blunder for the Empire. While the U-Wing could hold up relatively well, the TIEs had no chance, and as the U-Wing turned its guns on the few survivors, Tylux realized that they had lost everything. But still, Commander Tylux wasn't finished, ordering the Star Destroyer itself into the asteroid field to go after the spy. Continuing the crazy scenes that appear to be a staple for this series, the rebel pilot then sought refuge within an exogorth emerging from one of the asteroids. Crazed with fear, Tylux then ordered the Star Destroyer to follow the U-Wing into the space slug as well, succeeding much to the dismay of the crew. Recognizing that the Star Destroyer followed them, the rebel pilot then shot his way out, making an exit back into space with the Star Destroyer following. Tylux was now certain the rebel spy would be his, and ordered the crew of the ship to engage its tractor beam to bring the U-Wing in. However, the crew noted that the tractor beam was down, the result of mass power surging through the ship due to Minox inflicting damage throughout the hull of the Star Destroyer. Recognizing that the U-Wing probably set them up, using the space slug as a trap, Tylux ordered that the shields be fully raised. But the damage done from the Minox ensured that they were also down. To make matters worse, the crew could only watch as 5 rebel capital ships dropped out of hyperspace right in front of them and opened fire. As the issue ends, we see Tylux engulfed by fear and flames within the devastated Star Destroyer as Darth Vader himself walked towards him. And the last thing Tylux heard would be the words of warning given to the commander years earlier, that failure was unacceptable. And with that, the Sith Lord ignited his lightsaber before the doomed Commander Tylux. So there we have it, the extent Imperials would go to avoid Vader's wrath. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... For exogorth.